Our weekly immigration news roundup is brought to you by the law firm of Figueroa & Associates. For consultation on any immigration or legal matter, please call 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. For full stories and more immigration news, visit www.theimmigrantsjournal.com. That's www.theimmigrantsjournal.com.
Hello, my name is Mary Campbell, legal assistant at the law firm of Figueroa & Associates, and your presenter with this week's immigration news. Impact of the judge's decision to postpone TPS vacatur for Venezuelan nationals. The Temporary Protected Status (TPS) program, established under the Immigration Act of 1990, offers legal protection and temporary residency to nationals of countries experiencing armed conflict, natural disasters, or other extraordinary circumstances. Venezuelan nationals facing severe humanitarian crises in their home country have benefited from TPS since its initial designation in 2021. However, the recent decision by Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem to vacate the 2023 TPS extension sparked significant legal challenges, resulting in a court decision to postpone the vacatur. This article examines the short and long-term impacts of the judge's decision to postpone vacating TPS for Venezuelan nationals. By assessing legal, social, economic, and political dimensions, we will explore how this decision shapes the lives of TPS holders and the broader U.S. landscape. 2. Background: TPS for Venezuelan nationals. In March 2021, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, designated Venezuela for TPS, recognizing the ongoing political and humanitarian crisis under the Nicolás Maduro regime. The designation provided temporary protection from deportation and work authorization for eligible Venezuelans residing in the U.S. The program was extended in 2022 and again in 2023, reflecting continued instability in Venezuela, including food shortages, inadequate health care, and political repression. Legal and political context. In January 2025, the second Trump administration took office and promptly moved to reverse TPS protections. Secretary Noem's unprecedented decision to vacate the 2023 extension would strip over 350,000 Venezuelan TPS holders of legal protection, exposing them to potential deportation. However, in March 2025, the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California granted a motion to postpone the vacatur, citing potential irreparable harm to TPS holders and the U.S. economy. Judicial rationale for postponement. The court emphasized that Secretary Noem's actions appeared arbitrary and capricious, violating the Administrative Procedure Act, APA. Additionally, the decision noted that vacating TPS would severely disrupt the lives of thousands, jeopardizing families, jobs, and community stability. The judge also highlighted that the government failed to demonstrate any substantial harm in maintaining TPS. 3. Short-term impacts. Legal implications. The postponement grants immediate legal relief for Venezuelan TPS holders, allowing them to remain lawfully in the U.S. without the imminent threat of deportation. It preserves their work authorizations and legal residency, maintaining stability for individuals and families. This delay also provides time for TPS advocates to prepare stronger legal arguments and possibly influence policy revisions. Social implications. With over 600,000 Venezuelan nationals affected, the decision ensures continuity in their daily lives. Many TPS holders have deep-rooted ties in the U.S., including family connections, jobs, and community involvement. For these individuals, the postponement mitigates the fear and uncertainty that accompany the prospect of deportation. From a community perspective, the decision supports social cohesion by preventing sudden disruptions in neighborhoods where Venezuelan immigrants are integral. These individuals often participate in civic life and contribute to community development, and maintaining their presence fosters social stability. Economic implications. Economically, postponing the vacatur prevents significant disruptions. Venezuelan TPS holders contribute billions to the U.S. economy, including paying taxes and maintaining high employment rates. Industries such as healthcare, service, and construction, which rely on TPS workers, benefit from this continuity. If the vacatur were enforced immediately, employers would face labor shortages, and social services might experience increased demand as families struggle without legal income. Thus, maintaining TPS temporarily protects local economies and federal tax revenues. 4. Long-term impacts, legal and political consequences. The decision to postpone vacating TPS sets a legal precedent, highlighting the judiciary's willingness to scrutinize administrative decisions under the APA. Should this case proceed to a higher court, a ruling could clarify the extent of DHS authority in reversing TPS extensions, influencing future immigration policy. Moreover, the outcome may shape how future administrations approach TPS designations. The judicial decision reflects a broader tension between executive authority and humanitarian considerations, raising questions about the permanence of TPS protections. Social and community effects. Even with the postponement, uncertainty remains for TPS holders. The long-term limbo affects mental health and community integration, as individuals remain unsure whether they can build a stable future in the U.S. This uncertainty may hinder long-term investments, such as pursuing higher education or purchasing property. If TPS is eventually vacated, communities that have welcomed Venezuelan nationals may experience social fragmentation. Local organizations and advocacy groups will likely continue to push for legislative solutions, such as pathways to permanent residency, to alleviate the ongoing uncertainty. Economic considerations. In the long term, the vacatur could have profound economic effects. If TPS for Venezuelans ends, the loss of thousands of workers could impact sectors with significant immigrant representation. The sudden removal of contributors from the workforce would not only disrupt businesses but could also reduce consumer spending and tax contributions, weakening local economies. Additionally, states with high concentrations of Venezuelan immigrants, like Florida and Texas, could face economic challenges if deportations proceed. Local governments may need to allocate resources to manage community displacement and provide assistance to affected families. 5. Analysis of the judge's reasoning. Legal analysis. The judge's decision to grant the postponement hinges on several key legal arguments. First, the court found that the Secretary's decision to vacate TPS was likely arbitrary and capricious. Under the APA, agencies must demonstrate sound reasoning and adequate justification for reversing existing policies. Secretary Noem's rationale, based partly on generalized and unsupported assertions about Venezuelan immigrants, failed to meet this standard. Additionally, the court noted that the vacatur contradicted TPS humanitarian intent. By prematurely ending protections, the decision risked violating both statutory provisions and constitutional protections. The court's emphasis on the social and economic harm resulting from vacating TPS indicates a holistic approach, weighing the broader implications rather than focusing solely on executive authority. Weighing humanitarian concerns. The judge underscored the humanitarian crisis in Venezuela, highlighting the dangers of deporting individuals back to a country deemed unsafe by the State Department. By granting postponement, the court acknowledged the real-life consequences of legal decisions on vulnerable populations. This perspective reflects an understanding that TPS, while temporary by definition, must be adaptable to evolving crises. As conditions in Venezuela remain dire, the court found it unreasonable to revoke protections abruptly. 6. Conclusion. The decision to postpone vacating TPS for Venezuelan nationals has far-reaching implications, both immediate and long-term. In the short term, it provides essential relief to individuals and communities, allowing them to maintain stability and economic contribution. In the long term, it raises crucial legal questions about the boundaries of administrative power and the moral responsibilities of the state toward vulnerable populations. While the postponement is a temporary victory for TPS holders, the legal battle ahead will shape the future of immigration policy in the U.S. as debates continue. It remains vital to balance humanitarian considerations with legal frameworks, ensuring that vulnerable communities are protected while adhering to constitutional principles.
Our weekly immigration news roundup is brought to you by the law firm of Figueroa and Associates. For consultation on any immigration or legal matter, please call 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. For full stories and more immigration news, visit www.theimmigrantsjournal.com. That's www.theimmigrantsjournal.com.